Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Good evening, Africa. My name is Bamakore, actor, model, producer, and I'm giving a big shout out to VOP TV, man. Keep watching. Don't change the dial. Thank you and God bless you.
My name is AY, and of course, I represent the voice of the people, and that's why I'm on VOP. AY say so.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Miriam Tima from the Real Housewives of Lagos and the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Africa. Shout out to VOP, the voice of the people. You already know. Stay tuned, keep watching. And don't forget, VOP is the best.
All right, hello, it's a boy that's shaking the man fine back with Melanie Poppy Black Skin Boy. This is VOP TV. If you're not watching VOP, I don't know why you're watching. Maybe you're watching your weight. Bye.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're watching VOP, Voice of the People.
Hi, guys. You already know who it is. This is New Energy. Flyers, whatever, live it. Keep watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
Voice of the People, you can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is Suibifa Dokubo. Please keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, my name is Kwekumali Ikenda Onyekwena, and I am with the Voice of the People TV. Now, if you're looking for the veritable channel for information, politics, robust discussions, you don't need to go far. VOP has you. VOP will always have you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka, Amayanabo the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV. Stay with us.
All right, thank you very much for joining us. Now, this is Newspaper Review. I am Moses Humphrey.
And I am Chukwuma Okoro. Thanks for joining us again.
Yes, of course. And Dele Fanimo is with us in the building. Thank you very much for being part of the show.
My pleasure.
Barrister Eze Luche also joins the conversation virtually. And also we'll have Barrister Sim Adams join us. And I do hope the network will allow us to have the conversation this time around. Well, it's Newspaper Review. It's an open conversation. Do come along with us. You too can be part of it. Let's have your thoughts underneath the streaming on our different social media platforms. Now let's dive into it. The Guardian newspaper is up here. So the headlines here: Ahmed defends finances, welcomes probe of children's education funding. Now that's on page 3. Let's quickly check out the riders to that headline. Oshomole, Jim Kuta celebrates exit, 1 successors. Group urges new NUPRC, NMDPRA chiefs to overhaul oil sector divestment policies. Eyeson, Mohammed charts ambitious path. Well, those are the riders to that headline. And also, Senate confirms 64 ambassadorial nominees. PDP Caretaker Committee dissolves 14 state excos, fixes January for congresses. All right, there you have those window headlines. Let's have reactions to those window headlines before we dive into the big story that is on tax, the tax era. That's the big story on the cover page of the Guardian newspaper. But let's start off with, those window headlines.
Yes.
Chikuba, I know you have,
In fact, the 3 window headlines are all very interesting headlines. We'll start with Farouk Ahmed defending his finances and welcomes probe of children's education. Well, I don't know what Farouk is going to tell Nigerians and about his finances. Was there a business?
He has already told Nigerians.
Okay.
That proceed from his father's estate.
Okay, proceed from proceed from his father's
estate. Okay. And some other businesses he is engaged in as provided. And then the last one was that a scholarship. I mean, those children were awarded scholarship. So it is now for us to find out.
Okay, it's now for Dangote to prove.
It's now for Dangote to prove.
Exactly the
It's
question
not for ICPC actually. Dangote has put out the information there, so it's up to ICPC.
Okay. It's for Dangote to say, look, what I gave
Dangote has put out information.
Everything. So yes. It is now for the ICPC to investigate.
Exactly.
So but they will keep going back to Dangote to ask questions. Now, where did he
they don't need to go back to ask questions. He has told you
they understand the process of investigation. I don't have a problem if Farouk has said, look, proceed from my father's estate, But talking about him engaging in other businesses as a civil servant,
you are not servant. The only thing you are approved to engage in is farming.
Okay, farming.
Apart from the civil service.
Okay, so how many hectares of farm?
He has not even told us that he had a farm.
So I'll tell you when I said that I don't know what he will tell Nigerians. So we have come back to where we started from again. So it's interesting to know, and we also had a certain minister who was accused of purchasing mansions worth $2.5 million in the United States. And he said, look, my in-laws gave this to my wife and she transferred it to our children. So that is Nigeria for you.
Shouldn't we investigate the in-laws?
How will you investigate the in-laws? The in-laws are they public servants? The same man told you that his father was a general manager of not one company, not 2 companies, several companies.
Okay.
So it's very interesting. Look, like you guys have said, well, ICPC, do thorough investigation and tell us. But I also, like I said, how many hectares of farm, does he have? Because as a
to provide $7.5 billion
dollars.
Naira.
Okay.
$5 million.
$5 million.
When you calculate it in the current rate.
And the profits he made and all of that. Nigeria is a very interesting place. Very interesting place, I must tell you. You know, so well, and we see.
But another thing that I feel concerned about is if you have unassailable evidence to prove that these monies came from legal sources, why did you resign?
That is the point. That is the point. Why did you resign? Why wouldn't you stay?
That resignation was premature.
It was. I mean,
He might have been asked to. He might have been forced to.
No, so why didn't he
defend
himself? He should have gone to the villa with evidence to say,
yes,
this is how I made this money. Apparently, for him to have worked in, and after 30 minutes he came out, it's like, well, this is it. I mean, I can't defend all of these things.
25 minutes, actually.
You know, so but he has now come out to say, look, these are the sources.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Barrister Ezeluche, let's have your thoughts on this headline.
Thank you very much. I think from the Farouk matter, my worry is about the EFCC. The EFCC that should be monitoring funds, movements, and all this civil servant corruption, just being by the wayside on these major financial scam issues. And the same ICPC, if we remember that this Nigeria was the country where a few years back, the Minister of Petroleum, Tam David West, was jailed for receiving a wristwatch as a gift, which he declared a wristwatch as a gift. And he did mention that he received it. He was sent to jail. Now we have criminals, and I use that word strongly because it's prima facie criminality. Some will say, why don't you as a lawyer wait for proof? Proof of what? What? A civil servant with a known income is having expenses which are far above his income. He is presumed a criminal until he can prove otherwise. And you will see the funny thing that he has resigned, and that is the end of the matter. It's a very sad case for this country. We should be shedding tears at this stage because these kind of things happen repeatedly. And we must pray for Dangote because this is enough to get people killed. So, and I know he will reveal more. That is on that issue. On the issue of the INEC budget and all that stuff. You see, every 4 years, INEC budgets for thousands of vehicles that will be used for elections. Every 4 years, they make these budgets. Even they also have budgets for ad hoc elections to also buy these same cars, computers, printers, and scanners. Every 4 years. We don't ask, where were the vehicles bought 4 years ago? I have used a vehicle for more than 10 years, and it's still working very fine. But INEC seems to have a penchant for using it only 4 years, 3 years, and it's gone. And we don't, assembly will approve. Tell us that we have to pay higher for fuel, we have to pay higher taxes, we have to pay this, we have to pay that, and Nigerians are relaxed. It's a very sad situation. But for me, those are my two, and it goes through the Nigerian fabric, the Nigerian societal fabric. We shouldn't gloss over these issues. Farouk should not be resigning. He should be in jail. And it's shame on Olukoyede of the EFCC that these things are being pushed by the side. And tomorrow he will go out and pursue young boys who are pressing laptops, scamming one or two places for $5,000, $10,000. And people are scamming Nigerians in their billions, in billions. And Olukoyede will come out and start talking crap. That is EFCC chairman. My dear, we should be talking about these issues with annoyance, because if I'm talking about Benin or Togo, I can sit down and discuss the semantics. But this is the country where my children will grow up in, and it's been raped, it's been looted. And by next year, we are going to be made to pay more taxes when criminals are still at the head of our government. My dear, it's so sad. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. Talking about civil servants taking gifts, I mean, it's not peculiar.
No, I think
Donald Trump has received
there's a different mandate for EFCC and ICPC.
Oh yes, there is.
Politically exposed persons are dealt with by EFCC, but civil servants are dealt with by ICPC.
Okay, but it does not mean that if you are a public servant and there's a financial infraction that EFCC cannot try.
You know, this man is a career officer. most career officers are tried by ICPC.
But I think EFCC can still chime in. It's about
financial
fraud.
crime.
I know it's a financial crime, but ICPC also deals with financial crime.
Okay.
But when it comes to career officers, they push it to ICPC. I've seen
which is where Dangote sent the petition.
That's
to
what
ICPC,
I'm saying.
ICPC.
But if it were to be maybe somebody appointed to that position as a political appointee, and this kind of infraction is traced to him, it is EFCC that will try.
Okay, but anyway, that's okay. But talking about public officers receiving gifts, Donald Trump received a private jet worth about $400 million, and then a gold wristwatch too. Received a gold wristwatch worth from Switzerland, Rolex, worth about $130,000. And he kept them as his personal property.
What does their law say about that?
Civil servants are not, the president is not supposed to receive gifts, and if he receives any gift, it becomes property of the state.
Okay.
But these were basically his own property. He refused to give it to the state.
A lot of people also understand that Donald Trump is not run-of-the-mill Democrat.
Everyday president.
He's not an everyday Democrat.
All right, Barrister Asim Adams, let's have your thoughts on this one.
If you can lead me in on the question, I didn't.
We're talking about Farouk Ahmed, the former, and now former NMDPRA chief executive officer who resigned, and then nomination of another, and about him defending the tuition fees he paid for his children, 4 of them, that's to the tune of $5 million. Talking about that defense.
I think the Farouk himself should be ashamed of himself. If it were to be in China, by now he should be facing public execution. He's lucky that it's in Nigeria where malfeasance and corruption of that magnitude is treated with levity. How can you tell me that 8 billion naira is spent as school fees for children, or a child, or even 10, not even a village, not even a state, for a family that's about 2-3 children, because the man works with NNPC. In fact, immediately the man resigned, the EFCC or ICP should put the man in detention first of all. Not even allow him to move around and say he wants to go and begin to make press statements. And people are now saying he resigned honorably. He resigned with ignominy. And he must be treated and given the severest of punishments. Since we don't give death penalty for corruption, the man should rot in jail, because there is no explanation that he can give to me that will satisfy my position, that he spent even 500 million naira on school fees, talk less of 8 billion naira. That is a heist, a large robbery of the public till, and the man is still walking the streets. I find it difficult to comprehend why people will even begin talking about this man, whereas we should be discussing him while he's in detention, at least for a month while they are prosecuting him or while they are investigating him. The EFCC, the ICPC, the act setting them up gives them the power to so detain people like that while they are doing their investigation. So exactly why is he moving around freely? That is the question I don't understand.
Big question.
Barrister Asim, the former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, said, no, you don't have the right to keep me in detention while you are doing the investigations. Take me to court. But you just said that the Act, ICPC and EFCC Act, empowers them to do that. What more should we know?
Let me tell you, the AG Federation is not correct. The former AG is not correct. If you go to section 293 to 299 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, it empowers them, the EFCC and any other security agency, to get a remand order. To get a remand order to detain. They have been using it against innocent citizens. They have been using it against hapless and hopeless and helpless Nigerian citizens. But when it comes to the high and mighty who have stolen this country dry, they now tell you that they don't have such powers. That is not true. I have directed the EFCC, I have directed ICPC to section 293 to 299 of the ACJA Act 2015. It gives them the power to get an order of court by way of an ex parte application to detain that former AGF and even Farouk in the first instance for 14 days and with continuous extension until it amounts to 76 days. So if the AGF is not crying that they don't have the right, he's lying to us. They have the right to keep him there under the sections I've just listed or cited. And on this, when it was AG Federation, what did he do about the law when we were complaining that EFCC does not have that arbitrary powers except it is through the courts? What did he do? He didn't do anything. So he must face the wrath of his own laws that he guided. So I am advising the EFCC to invoke section 293 to 299 of the ACJA to keep the ex-AGF and also arrest Farouk and keep him in detention where they are doing their investigation and keep him there because the offenses they are committed is a heinous one.
All right, then.
To the best of my knowledge.
All right, then. Well, you want to touch on the other headlines?
Yes, the three headlines.
Okay, so
headlines,
we've basically focused on one. Senate confirmed 64 ambassadorial nominees.
Okay, well, I think we did talk about that on the morning show this morning, and it's interesting to know how the Senate has confirmed the 64 ambassadors nominees. I think 30 ambassadors and 34 high commissioners, and something in that regard. Without recourse to the objections of Nigerians about certain individuals whose names were there. We have listed them. Reno Omokri.
Femi Fani-Kayode.
I personally, I don't have a problem with FFK. I don't have a problem with Femi Fani-Kayode. But Yakub Muhammad, and I also don't have a problem with Ibok Eteibas. I mean, this is a man that served at the highest level of his military career. Naval officer. I've cited instances in the United States of America where people that served in the military have served in other ambassadorial positions. You know, I don't have a problem with that. But Nigerians think that, well, he did a yeoman's job in Rivers State. The president appointed him, and he did a job. And the Supreme Court has just said, look, the president has the power to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State, as he did. I also don't have a problem with Dan Bazao, you know, former chief of army staff, former Minister of Defense, at the highest level of military career, you know, to serve as an ambassador. I cited instances of Colin Powell, who served as Joint Chief of Staff in the American military, and now served as America's chief diplomat as the Secretary of State of the United States of America. I don't have a problem with that. It is with Renu, you know, a man that said, mounted a campaign in the United Kingdom and said, look, you are president. The person that we eventually elected our president is a drug lord. He has certificate issues and all of that. And after 2.5 years, he's been supporting the president. And he told us at some point that he has a document from the Chicago State University that clearly shows that the president had problems in Chicago State University. Either he had problems or that he didn't pass through there. But there were questions about his certificate. He has not come out to tell us, no, that was a mistake. He has not come out to tell us that the president didn't make a forfeiture of about $460,000 in the United States related to drug problems and all of that. And now we are still taking that same man to go and represent a country that purportedly has a drug leader, a drug lord as our president. I have a problem with that. And a lot of Nigerians do have problems with that. Mind you, Delta people, Delta Democratic Forum said, look, this man is not fit to represent Delta people, Delta State. And the president blocked his ear, towards all of this. The Senate did the same thing and approved his ambassadorial nomination. It's a problem to a lot of people in Nigeria. It is not about the president, it is about the country, Nigeria, that he's going to represent.
Do you have an addition to that?
I'm not going to say anything much that
So can I say
is a departure from what you said.
Can I say my own?
Go ahead, please.
Let me tell you. First of all, people should understand that positions of ambassadors, like the president did, are at his prerogative to select those people he felt. But he must have recourse to Section 14 sub 3. Recourse to Section 14 sub 3 in the sense that there must be federal character or spread in the nominations. That is number one. 2, you cannot go and begin to nominate people you don't know to work with as ambassadors. The president can go for non-career ambassadors, and those who he failed can help his administration. The third one is this. People have said so much about Reno Omokri. Yes, he vilified the president when he was a candidate. He insulted him. He slapped him. He rained in on him and said he was a drug, whatever his case may be. But at the end of the day, it was not proven by the courts. Now, Jesus Christ taught us the art of forgiveness. But many Nigerians, when it comes to things like this, they forget about Christ saying that your enemies will forgive them their sins. That you should make them lick their wounds by bringing them close to you. That is what the President Bola Tinubu did. A number of Nigerians would have rained vendetta on Reno Omokri. But President Tinubu never did that because he's not even holier than most of us. He has not even become more sanctimonious and even following the teachings of Jesus Christ about forgiveness than more than us. Many of us will say crucify him because he hated you. People never did that. Christ never, prayed and preached such. So Reno Omokri, in my own opinion, is even a proper fit. If you look at before Omokri was even nominated as ambassador nominee, he was always out trying to focus and bring the good side of Nigeria to the rest of the world.
And that's what a lot of people call eye service.
It's not eye service. If to you it's eye service, but for me it's not eye service. It depends on what you call eye service. But he has been doing that on his own. Number of years I've watched and followed Reno Omokri. He has been on that forefront of projecting the positive image of Nigeria. He has been an ambassador. Do you want to bring somebody like some of my colleagues who vilify the government to be made ambassadors and they go outside and run the country down? Is that what people want? I don't think that is proper. Do you want to bring an atavistic personalities, as your ambassadors that will go there and run you? Who are the ambassadors? As I speak to you, I am an ambassador of Voice of the People Television. I'm not in Lagos, but I'm in Port Harcourt. I am an ambassador of VOP TV. The reason why I'm an ambassador is because of the fact that I'm a friendly person to your television station. You cannot bring a hostile guest that is against your policy to say it's your ambassador outside of your place. So these are the things we need to understand. So I support wholeheartedly,
All right. Well, Nigerians that have reservations will
they have their reservations
that they voiced their reservations, there is and the president didn't seem to have listened.
There is no way all of us will have a congress of opinion. If there is no divergence of opinion on a matter, then it means that the person is dead. Please, I believe what we need to do is, let Omokri be. Reno Omokri has done his best and he deserves that particular position.
All right.
He should not be singled out.
According to you. All right, thank you very much.
That's my own.
Thank you very much, Barrister C. Adams. Barrister Ezeliche, do you have a contribution to this, or do we move to the next one?
Bola Tinubu, more so than they don't represent Nigeria. I mean, that is just my take on this. And the reality is that the countries they'll be posted to already have a dossier on these men, and then they will be treated as such. We forget to realize that it is based on the calculation of all these things that happen in Nigeria. The president who has put in as ambassadors that determine how those foreign countries treat Nigerians, including visa restrictions. Let me give you a particular example. In the US, recent US reasons for placing Nigeria on the visa restriction list, they mention things like it's difficult to verify official data, age, schools, positions, and all those things are very difficult. And where do you think they get that information from? When they see that even your president is of unknown parentage, unknown schooling, unknown qualifications, on dubious characteristics, that is how they form opinions on Nigerians. So
the opinion they form about Nigeria. Okay,
Mr. President can go to the prison yard and pick whoever he wants to pick and make ambassadors. Those represent him, and it will eventually fall on the head of Nigeria.
I don't think so, sir. I disagree with you.
The unfortunate part of it is for Nigerians who have been vilified by some of these ambassadors, and that's why I pinpoint Okri and Fanika, not because of what they abuse the president, but because they have taken it as a duty to vilify a segment of the Nigerian population. Now, if I was an Igbo man, if I was in an Igbo, wherever Reno Omokri is posted to, will I be proud to say this is my ambassador? When as a part of his DNA, he wakes up every morning to post abuses on the Igbo race, then he becomes the ambassador of Nigeria.
That is not true.
You think you welcome him? So Mr. Tinubu has only dispatched.
That is not true. And the people should not allow those kind of things.
All right, we have.
Barrister Adam, when you say this is not true, the man is entitled to his opinion.
Listen, excuse me, I am entitled
Barrister Adam, what you are saying is that the president can also appoint an ex-convict to go and Barrister, hold on now. Barrister, your position is that the president is at liberty to appoint anybody he wants as president, despite the fact that Nigerians are rejecting that person. That's your position.
I am from the South, and I hold my ideas and ideologies very strongly.
Okay.
I am not a man that is, tribalistic, both in my ways of my conduct and my speeches. You know that very well. But when people begin to color discussions because of personal perception of Reno Omokri in this instance, that is a tribalist because he has heard his opinion not against the Igbos, but he has said a lot of things that do not suit some Igbo stock, as the case may be. That does not mean that Reno Omokri is a tribalist. I don't believe that. For those of us who Reno is from his area, we have the right also to protect him.
Now, Barrister Adams, you are simply being tribalistic because you are defending Reno based on where you come from with him. That's exactly the point.
You don't speak for him. I'm speaking for myself.
No, but you are speaking for him. You are speaking for Reno.
I'm speaking for myself.
No, you are speaking for Reno, and he's speaking against him. So whose position should we take?
You are promoting the Igbo ideology from what I've seen.
That is exactly how he feels about it. Because he also has evidence.
You are promoting the Igbo ideology. I have the right to promote my own.
So why do you have a problem with that? Barrister Adams, why do you have a problem with that?
Please simmer some of these things down. I never allowed us to dance into this particular tribal, market.
All right, let's not get into tribal conversation now.
It's sad. It's sad, please.
Thank you very much, Barrister C. Madams. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And let's dive into another conversation now. There's also a very important one right here. Fresh nationwide defections tilt 2027 balance as APC tightens grip. Now, I'd like us to tie that headline. Let's take the riders to that one. The riders are Four Rivers reps join ruling party, cite crisis in PDP, LP. FCT Senator Ireti Kingebe joins ADC, quits Labour Party. Bafarawa loyalist, ex-deputy governor candidate, defect to APC in Sokoto. PDP executives switch to ruling party in Zamfara's Maradun Council. How electoral fraud, weak institutions drive Nigeria's leadership crisis. Now, I would love for us to tie that headline to another headline here that says 6 ex-PDP governors attend as Tinubu hosts APC caucus in Asu Villa. My question here is, hosting APC caucus, that's a party activity. Why are they being hosted in the Asu Villa? That's the question I'm putting out there.
This is not the first time. Yeah, I don't need before.
Does it make it right?
It doesn't.
Well, that's the question I'm putting out there, but these are the headlines, gentlemen. Let's have your thoughts. You want to go first?
On APC holding...
No. The headlines I just reeled out. You want me to take them again?
Take it again.
Okay. Fresh nationwide defections tilt 2027 balance as APC tightens grip. And 6 ex-PDP governors attend as Tinubu hosts APC caucus in Asu Villa.
Well, I've always said it is not for the love of APC or no, for the love of Tinubu that these people are defecting. They are simply rushing out of a sinking ship. And it will continue as long as those 2 dominant opposition parties can't find their feet, won't agree on consensus to build that party, those parties. Labour Party, as at this morning, there was a news that Nenadi Usman Group will be holding its Congress. Abure is saying he don't have that local standard to do that.
And in PDP,
Wike are holding their own Congress. And Turaki people are also smarting. So anybody in these 2 parties, considering what happened in Zamfara in the last election, will not want to wait 1 minute.
And in Plateau State.
So nobody...
And it has also happened in Rivers State.
In Rivers State. So nobody wants to swim in a shark-infested water when there is an alternative where you can swim conveniently and peacefully. So that is the cross of this defection. It is nothing other than this.
All right then. Barrister Ezeliche, let's have your thoughts.
Thank you very much. The fact is, Mr. Tinubu is being smarter than himself. And when you do that, eventually the boomerang will hit back. The crisis in both the Labour Party and the PDP, we all know was engineered, orchestrated, even with some assistance from the members of the bench. That is why there are specific judges in Abuja, who even the PDP have asked the CJ to stop from hearing PDP matters. So the flocking to the APC, unlike what your guest in the studio said, it's not a reflection of love for the APC. Because if you're on ground, you know the APC does not even operate like a political party. It's a top-down, it's a regimented approach. So more of those will happen. More of that decampment to the APC will happen. But like I keep on telling people, as it happened with the PDP in 2014, when the party thought it would become to rule for the next 60 years and only to find itself out of power in the next couple of months, the APC will have discovered that with the avalanche of people coming into it, leading to the 2027 elections, when they're not even sure of who will be the presidential candidates of the APC when that time comes, because there's so much noise about Mr. Tinubu, but like everybody knows, we're all human beings, anything can happen. So it will continue, but it does not reflect love for the APC, because APC is not structured as a political party. And we hope that Nigerians will be able to get around this almost sinister effort at a one-party autocracy, because that is where everything is leading to. And we have seen what has happened in one-party autocracies across Africa, from Benin Republic, Togo, all of them. They came in sneaking in as Democrats, as democracies, but gradually, not by love, not by good policies, because you ask yourself, what policies of the ruling party endears Nigerians to it? Is it the overtaxation? Is it the poor infrastructure? Is it the absence of security? Is it the absence of education? What is it? It would have been good if there was good policies the APC was rolling out that was making everybody come in. But no. Like Adam Somuchiomole said, once you come into the APC, all your sins are forgiven. So that is what is going on. But they will see that at the end of the day, their sins will be compounded because Nigerians must have to say enough is enough. That you cannot just bully us into a one-party system. And we are already having signs that that will happen. The signs are very clear. Some will think that but if you are politically savvy and aware, you see that all this gathering of these political heavyweights in quotes into the APC will be the sign of its collapse, and it will be very, very drastic and imminent. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you very much, Barrister Eze. You see, I always find it difficult, to imbibe this idea of, well, someone else is the person causing problem in another political party, especially when people pin it around the president causing problem in Labour Party and PDP. I find it strange and I find it curious because if he's the one causing this problem, it's simply because the people in the party have allowed themselves to be used. So why blame the president? Why don't you put your house in order? It's like me now, I'm having problems with my wife, and Moses will tell me, oh, Dele is the one causing problem between you and your wife. So do you expect me to blame Dele or to blame my wife? So I find it curious and strange when people say any problem within the PDP, oh, it is a president that is using Wike. And when you talk about Labour Party, oh, it is the president that is using Abure. Well, people in the PDP and Labour Party, if it is the president that is using Wike, I think Wike has been expelled. Now that Wike has been expelled, the problem is still there. So is he still the president? Atiku has left, the problem remained there.
Wike has been expelled, but he still holds sway. He still has a grip.
So what has it got to do with the president?
He has a grip over.
It's because the people in the PDP have refused to build their own house, not the president. The president is. I'm not even his fan, but in this case, I think it is out of place, to continue to blame the president as the person causing problem in other political parties. Those people should put their houses in order. That's my opinion on that.
All right. Barrister C. Adams, do you have a reaction to this headline?
To contribute.
Pardon?
Barring all ethnic and tribal sentiments.
Okay.
I want to talk about politics, and I want to take us back to history lane. Many people forget that the word decamping, cross-carpeting, defecting came into the Nigerian political lexicon in the 60s. In the 60s. If you look at the ruling party, though we were operating a parliamentary system of government during the Tafawa Balewa era, cross-carpeting took place in the house, in the federal house. And one of the reasons why you find a problem happened in the Western region was because of cross-carpeting also, or what we call defection today, as the case may be. That one Ebubedike, an Igbo man who was representing Badagry division, as at that time in the Western region, had to seize the maze of the house and run away with it because there were massive cross-carpeting on the floor of the house. That is number one. Now, coming into 1999 because of time, during Obasanjo time, the PDP controlled about 26 states or more out of the political parties we had in Nigeria. They carried on for about 8 years or maybe 16 years, as the case may be, that governors were defecting to PDP. It got to a point also, those who defected to PDP, left PDP, formed the new PDP, APC, TC, as case may be. So it is not a new thing. I am not surprised. Why I am not surprised is because we have and we play politics without ideology. Many politicians are not one of the main politicians like we have in other climes. These are politicians of stomach infrastructure. They have no ideology. I dare say that I don't know, for many of us who are there, I participated actively in elections in Rivers State for Labour Party, for P2B, and on election day, I saw what happened. And that was when I found out that defection, decamping can never and will never stop in Nigeria politics today. Because it's all politics of stomach infrastructure. If you are in a political arena and you are getting nothing from it, you are bound to join the ruling party. It is not that Tinubu is going there to campaign and ask them to come and join the APC. No. People like Amechi, for instance, now in Rivers State, they don't have political base. They are suffering right now politically. If not because of the masses or maybe the shame, he would have run back to APC. Because one, the financial power is not there, the influence is no longer there, he's not attached to the politics of the center. So he has been clamoring to see how he can be part of that center. If Tinubu should call Amechi today or Erufai to say, please come and join us, forgive what has happened before, they will run and join the ruling party. Because it's all politics of stomach infrastructure. That is why you see this defection. Not because they love Tinubu, not because they love APC, but they feel that that is the only way they can feed their nest and get what they used to feed their families. Most of the politicians we have in Nigeria today do not have any other handiwork apart from politics. So the only thing, I am in Rivers State, I know that I'm talking about. Now, most heavyweight politicians today in Nigeria cannot even fuel their cars. Those who are in opposition, most of them cannot fuel those big cars they bought when they were in power. So they are now seeking ways to come back because they love oil and wine. That is it. And once you have that love for those things, you must have to get money to lubricate those things that you want to do. That is why you see them drifting to APC, because they feel that APC is a honeypot for them. That is why they are going there. And more will still go. More governors are going to join them. Even the ADC that is there, that they are making us here and there, before 2027, believe me, there's going to be confusion there. Not that Tinubu is going there to destroy the party, but because of the fact that most of them are left to join the ADC or form ADC, felt that they were not getting the privileges that they ought to get in APC. The moment the door of privileges are open to them back in APC now, they will run back and jettison to play Nigeria here. So nobody should blame Tinubu or Obasanjo, whoever, for whatever, because he has not gone there directly. It is just the normal politics that we play in Nigeria here. That is politics of stomach infrastructure. That is why you see this infection. Young men are no longer ready to work hard. What they want to do is to attach themselves to political officers and those in the ruling party, because that is where money is. Let me tell you, as a politician, I found out that it is not easy for you to play opposition. If you want to play opposition, you must have money. If you don't have money in Nigeria, you will be dead financially and politically if you're not very careful. So the only way you can resurrect yourself is to belong to the ruling party. That is what happens. Not that Tinubu is meant to these people. No.
Okay.
All right.
Barrister Adams, I think you have done a bit of history here, and I'd like for us to be very clear on this point. The first known defection in the history of Nigerian politics happened not in the 60s, but in 1951, when members of the NCNC in the Western region defected en masse to the AG because they didn't want Nnamdi Azikiwe to form the government in the Western region. That was the first incident. The Bedike of a thing that you cited happened just in 2018. It's a recent thing. Talk about 1951 is more than 70 years. That's actually the correct history, and not in 1961. We saw defections, First Republic, Second Republic, but talking about history, that was the first time it was recorded in Nigerian history.
All right, let's move on to another headline here. Well, because of time, I'm just going to reel out the headlines, and each person can choose which one to react to. And, the Punch newspaper has this report. South African police shoot Nigerian man dead at traffic stop. The name given as 37-year-old Osinachuku Onu. He was chased by the police, shot dead right there, and they walked away. Now, the police, they have been arrested, their guns taken from them, and they will be tried No reason was given for the chase and what seems like an execution. Now, ex-Labour Minister Ngige gets bail in alleged 2.2 billion naira fraud charges. Barking Ladi attack, death toll rises to 14. Federal government rescinds decision, reopens 47 federal unity colleges. All right. So these are some of the headlines in some of the dailies. Yes. MTEF reps Senate disagree over crude oil benchmark. Oh, okay. Those are the headlines.
They are trying in Ngige for 2.2 billion. I thought it was in dollars. It's not even like dollars. It's naira. That's why they're wasting their time now trying for 2.2 billion naira. Nigeria is too big for that.
So they shouldn't try him.
2.2 billion naira.
Let them try him, and then they'll try others as well.
Stealing is stealing. 2.2 billion naira.
Stealing is stealing. Stealing is stealing. Yes. We have to start from somewhere.
It's just making.
No,
it's just being sarcastic.
I get the joke. Yes, I get the joke. I get the joke. But anyway, is that?
But I'm worried about this South African
shooting.
Yes, shooting. Because you know one thing that I found out, and I've asked questions in the past. It is easy to get away with murder in South Africa because of their law. You know what it took to convict that guy, Blade, that athlete, disabled athlete?
Yes.
Even when it was glaring.
Oscar Pistorius.
When it was glaring that he actually killed his girlfriend. So these people, we are just hearing about this. A few times that I've been in South Africa, knife fight that resort to death. They are not bothered about it. And I think what somebody told me in South Africa, a South African, was that the laws that was promulgated during apartheid regime was to make it loose such that if a white kills a black, nothing happens.
It's a non-issue.
And that is the carryover till today. And they need to amend those laws to make it a felonious offense if you commit murder.
But it's also good to know that the police were arrested.
Yes, they were arrested.
Yes. Their guns taken away.
And the person in question is there legally, so there are no questions as to his legality in South Africa.
No, so I'm not saying that murder is
No, I'm talking about
illegal.
the individual being there in South Africa. But let's get your response to this, Barrister Sim Adams. Let's have your take on this one in 30 seconds, if you may.
It's unfortunate that xenophobia in South Africa has been taken to the level of government, and it's those who are supposed to protect.
The police.
When police begin to shoot, I think they have to investigate it. I know exactly why the policeman had to kill or shoot and kill the Nigerian man, but it's unfortunate. I always say sympathies to the family, condolences to the family. The Nigeria High Commission in South Africa, this is why we need ambassadors. The Nigeria High Commissioners in South Africa should go into this and find out why that Nigerian was shot and killed. And if he was extrajudicially murdered, the Nigerian government and the High Commission there must pursue the matter legally to get compensation for the family of the deceased, Nigerian. It must not be swept under the carpet. Arresting the police is not enough. Hello?
Yes. No, I'm just.
Yeah. As I say, arresting the police that
not enough.
That shot them is not enough. It must be investigated. Found out why they had to shoot in Nigeria and kill him, and if they are found culpable, the Nigerian High Commissioner must do something to make sure that justice is gotten for the Nigerian that is slaughtered unjustly.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister Sim Adams. Barrister Ezeliche, are you reacting to that one? Let's have your reaction. 4 policemen. Ages, I think their ages given are 25 to 36, so thereabouts. And they killed this individual.
I appreciate Mr. Okoro for fact-checking some of the things that are said on the program, because it's not good to use a TV program like this of this nature to dish out misinformation. So the fact-check was most appreciated, and more of it should be happening. So that once we say something on your program, you just Google it and know whether it's true or not. One of the things that was said here, which is also a falsehood, is when Dr. Barrister Sim was saying that the EFCC has powers to detain indefinitely. That's not true. Malami was right. The EFCC and any other law enforcement agency can only detain for a maximum of 48 hours. Thereafter, they must go to a court. And it's only the court that can now grant that order.
Which I think was what he said, actually, if I understood him correctly.
I know what he said. Let me just finish. So it's only the court that can allow for extension of detention.
Yes.
So the Malami was right. Until EFCC goes to get the court order, it cannot continue to detain endlessly. With regards to what happened in South Africa,
what he said.
Is it?
The code is about 30-something,000 now.
With regards to what happened in South Africa, the international community also listens to what happens in Nigeria. If our law enforcement agencies go about killing Nigerians, the extrajudicial killings, torture and everything, they tend to treat Nigerians the same way. But if we have a country where we respect Nigerians in Nigeria, other countries will respect us. They will be very wary of how they treat Nigerians. So it is for us to up our game with regards to respecting our fellow countrymen, then they'll be respected. It's quite unfortunate that somebody had to be killed or somebody lost his life.
All right.
But Nigeria, if we are worried we should take care of our Nigerians in Nigeria, then the rest of the world will take us very seriously. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Barrister Eze Luchie. Thank you very much, Barrister Sim Adams. Thank you, Dele Fanimo and Chukwuma Okoro. Well, Chukwuma Okoro makes a comeback later tonight at 6 p.m. on Political Lens. You want to tell us what to expect?
Yes, and I'll be joined by Dr. Peter Anosike. We'll travel around Nigeria to bring you interesting trending stories. Join me then.
All right, there you have it. There you have it. Well, that's it on Newspaper Review. Have yourselves a beautiful weekend. I'm Moses Humphrey. Sports comes up next on VOP TV. Bye for now. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour, as it hot
Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check